ESPN expert predicts Fever to land big-name player to help Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever entered WNBA free agency with plenty of expectations. After a year that saw them make the playoffs with Caitlin Clark leading the way, the franchise certainly established itself as one of, if not the most promising teams in the league. Indiana has already taken the first step in keeping guard Kelsey Mitchell by extending her a core qualifying offer. However, the team still has some work to do in order to elevate itself to true contender status. Defense is expected to be a priority for a Fever squad that had the second worst defensive rating, 107.5, in 2024. It remains to be seen who the Fever will target in free agency or via trade, but a young and promising core, the marketability of the franchise thanks in large part to Clark, and the $78 million training facility they are building are projected to make them an alluring destination. With that said, ESPN's WNBA expert Michael Vopel predicts that the Fever will be able to land a big fish this offseason. The appeal of playing with young stars Clark and Boston, plus the fan excitement around Indiana now, will help the Fever land a big name in free agency or via trade, something that would have seemed very unlikely a couple of years ago. Vopel wrote when discussing bold WNBA free agency predictions with his ESPN colleagues in a January 10 article. There are a number of big-name free agents that could be interesting for the Fever, such as Sadu Sabally, Dewana Bonner, and Alyssa Thomas, among others. Whether the Fever can land any of those established stars is not certain, but as Vopel wrote, Indiana's current situation should at least give them a chance. The negotiation window for WNBA contracts opens on Tuesday, but players cannot sign deals until February 1. Psychologists' analysis of Caitlin Clark's stalker could scare her more and force her to take further action. Caitlin Clark's exceptional basketball career has earned her admiration worldwide, but her fame has also brought an unsettling ordeal. Recently, the WNBA star found herself at the center of a distressing stalking case, which serves as a grim reminder of the vulnerabilities public figures face. The terrifying situation escalated when a stalker traveled from Texas to Indiana, allegedly intending to confront Clark. After sending a barrage of explicit and threatening messages on X, the stalker was arrested on January 13, 2025. On felony stalking charges. While his arrest provided some relief, it underscored the persistent danger posed by such individuals. In an episode of Crime Fix with Anjanette Levy, clinical and forensic psychologist Dr. John Paul Garrison, known as Dr. G, discussed the chilling nature of stalking. He expressed concern about the stalker's unpredictable behavior and the long-term trauma that victims often endure. Hopefully, after that amount of time in jail, if he does have delusions, it would shift to something else. But there's no guarantee that it will, Dr. Garrison noted. Stalkers are terrifying, and sometimes they just keep going back to prison over and over again. Clark's experience highlights how deeply stalking incidents can affect victims, even without physical interaction. The emotional repercussions often include anxiety, depression, and PTSD, which can persist long after the immediate threat is neutralized. Dr. Garrison emphasized, the level of trauma that can be induced by stalking, even if the victim never actually interacts with the stalker face-to-face, is profound. Clark has already made adjustments to her public appearances and routines due to the distress caused by the stalker's threats. Law enforcement confirmed that Clark felt very fearful about the messages, which included chilling statements such as "I'm driving around your house 3 times a day" and "I'm sitting behind the bench." Legal measures and lingering concerns. The suspect appeared in court on January 14, where his erratic behavior continued. He interrupted proceedings to declare himself guilty as charged, prompting the judge to enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. His bond was set at $50,000 with conditions, including wearing an ankle monitor and maintaining a 500-foot distance from Clark and the places where she plays. His pretrial hearing is scheduled for March 31, 2025. Though these measures aim to protect Clark, experts like Dr. Garrison warn that legal actions may not eliminate the danger entirely. Stalkers often reoffend after serving their sentences, leaving victims to navigate the ongoing fear and uncertainty. Clark's resilience in facing these challenges is commendable, but her silence on the matter reveals the emotional toll such experiences can take.